If you like this video, make sure to visit our Vimeo page and follow us to get the latest update.
Last few sessions we have been discussing on master data. So we last time we met, we discussed about resource as master data. Okay, and while we were discussing resource, we touched upon several topics which were uh, which are which were not related to resource, but we discussed them just to get more understanding about resource. We spoke about the warehouse orders, warehouse tasks, how tasks are grouped together into orders, and basically at the end of the resource master data, we executed a couple of transactions on RF. So we did a good receipt on RF. We executed a put away on RF. So we also understood how RF transactions are executed. So inbound process we completed with RF put away, good receipt and put away on RF. So resource is a master data which using which we can control which bins the resource can access, which pallets the resource can handle, which area in the warehouse the work resource can work, the work allocation for the resource happens through the resource group and queues. And basically we understood the main reason for creating these elements for a resource is to make sure the resource can use a system guided approach where system knows which queue or which area the resource is working, and accordingly those um, tasks or those orders are assigned to the resource. We While we were executing RF, we had to understand, we briefly discuss about warehouse orders, because when we execute the task, on RF, we need a warehouse order because the queue is assigned to a warehouse order. So we understood warehouse order is nothing but it's like a TO which has a lot of tasks. It can have one or more tasks. Uh, System controls how many tasks can be part of a TO or a warehouse order, and there is a config element called creation rule. Using that we'll control how many tasks can be part of a warehouse order. Warehouse order is like one work package which a resource can execute at one time. Okay, like pick, drop it into GI zone, then come pick some more, and then it's basically a work packet. We discussed about a typical example in a non IT or non warehouse management system warehouse, how the same work would be done manually. So SAP or any WMS system just replicates the same thing, in terms of work allocation. Automatically the work is assigned based on the capabilities of the resources, based on the area they are working, and they automatically get what they have to do on their guns. Okay, scan guns. Then we understood about barcodes. They scan the barcodes to confirm they have executed the task. So this is just a start. We will do a lot of RF scanning. Every process we will understand how it is done through desktop and through GUI and Fury. So we basically executed one basic receipt that we had done. We executed a put away also for that, just to see how the forklift can execute the task. As we go ahead, we have uh, made sure that if forklift 5 can only handle cartons. So we will also see, when we are handling a product which is a non-carton, if we try to use forklift 5, system will say you're not allowed to work. Okay, for that particular order. Some more tests, as we go on, we'll carry out. So as part of our next as part of our curriculum, the next topic was RF configuration. Okay, but I will like to slightly part that. I would spend more time on the basic inbound execution today, and then we will talk about the functional configuration in RF. I'll come back to this. Since we have executed a first inbound delivery, I would like to spend more time on, inbound delivery execution. Basically, we're going to cover this. Inbound deliveries are processed, basic inbounds, and then we'll go back and cover the um, configurations on RF. Okay, so take a pause here. Any questions? Any queries? Did you get chance to go through the pack specs and whatever topics were pending for all of you? Did you get chance to go through them during the break? Any questions on those topics?
Partly, Rohan, got a chance to go through, but not fully. But in the coming weeks, it will be done. So I may have some questions.
So are you all practicing as well?
You can
Uh,
actually, I also
research.
partially referred all these our PPT, but still I am not getting similar access. If you,
Mhm.
Nancy, Saturday she called me. She will confirm today.
Okay, but you can use your system and see whatever you can.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
sure,
whatever
sure.
you
You
can.
can.
So
I'll start.
okay, okay. So if Nancy is working, then we'll wait for her to arrange system for you. Okay. So how about you, Kabir? Did you get chance to
I
go
I
or
I
you
have no, I've been traveling, so I have been not been able to
been busy?
look at
Okay.
them there.
Okay, no problem. We will touch upon this topic at some point of time where I'll do quick recap. But
Mhm.
since these are cross topics, we will use them in inbound, outbound, everywhere. But yeah, whenever you do get chance, please go through them again. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So inbound processing. Okay. So we did a good receipt and put away. Now, as part of inbound, what are we going to cover? In inbound, we will cover, basically in inbound processing, what all are covered in EWM, and then I'll explain what are we going to cover at this point of time. In EWM, we have in inbound comprises of 1 minute. Let me take my highlighter. So inbound processing it comprises of several steps like unloading the stuff from the truck, good receipt posting, then repacking the parts, executing quality inspection, value-added service like you can do a relabeling and all those kind of you can do a repacking before you put it into the bin. So any kind of value-added service you can execute on a part before you put it into the bin. That is part of inbound processing. And finally the put away happens into the bin. So out of all these, these are all the possible steps that we can have in a overall inbound process. Out of these six steps, good receipt posting and put away is mandatory for all the receipts. Okay, these two steps are mandatory. You can do unloading or you cannot do unloading. You can choose whether you want to track unloading in system or you don't want to track. Deconsolidation, if you can choose, if you don't want to do deconsolidation, you can manually repack mixed pallets in the GR area. You can choose, whether all your parts need quality or they don't need. Validated service, again, do you want to have a separate order and track what services are being performed? If not, you can do that offline as well. So it all depends, how in-depth system enablement is required. Accordingly, those intermediate steps can be activated. I mean, this is just the recommended steps, but you can have some more steps. So um, like for a typical warehouse, you can have steps like process relevant steps, like you can do a labeling, you can do a marshalling, you can do um, a kind of a repack again, and you can do greasing before you paste them into the bin. You can apply some some sprays for the parts before you store them, like corrosion resistant sprays and all those kind of activities can be done. So the number of steps can be many, it can be expanded to more number of steps. But all the steps will be part of value-added service or process oriented steps. Okay, so in this inbound process, what are we going to discuss? So before we go into these several intermediate steps, we need to focus on the main steps, the good, receipt, and put away. So in a basic warehouse, we just execute good, receipt, and put away. We don't execute any other steps. Okay, so in this inbound process, in this unit 4, we are going to cover only inbound and put away. Sorry, good, receipt, and put away. So we'll discuss about different options of posting good receipts, putaways, and we'll discuss about the strategies. We'll discuss about the availability group configuration. We'll discuss about the quality. So quality is a separate step where we take to a quality work center and inspect it. We'll more or less talk about the quality, how the inspection lot is created, and how the stock types is impacted. We will not move it to a separate quality work center for now. So then we'll talk about all the different types of strategies like storage type determination, section, bins, and we'll talk about slotting and rearrangement. So overall, we will talk about basic inbound processing. Okay, and after this we'll cover basic outbound processing, and then we'll execute, we'll understand yard management, we'll understand various order creation rule, we'll understand delivery integration, we understand POSC, LOSC, some more topics we'll understand, and slowly we will add these steps to our inbound process. But when we execute a complex inbound, still this good, receipt, and put away are going to be there, and the same config what we are going to discuss, configuration setup, we are going to discuss today or today and tomorrow, the same will be applied there also. Okay, so these are basics which we are going to cover, and we are going to focus on the basic steps. The other steps are optional, and they have dependency on, like unloading has dependency on yard, and shipping and receiving config, deconsolidation, quality, validated service have dependency on POSC config and creation rule config. So we'll slowly add those steps as we introduce those concepts. Okay, so in this unit we'll only focus on uh, till we complete basic inbound, basic outbound. We'll not be talking about intermediate steps. We'll only focus on good, receipt, put away for inbound, and picking and goods issue for outbound. Okay, so let us talk more about inbound. Inbound, we have done one basic inbound where we did good receipt for a supplier. What other types of inbounds can be there? We can do a customer returns. We can do a receipt from production. There is another concept called expected good receipt in decentralized warehouse, where you can create an inbound delivery directly in EWM before creating them in VL31, and basically it's a different way to create a delivery. So these are different good receipts scenarios that we will come across, and all of them will involve inbound deliveries, will involve good receipt posting, will involve put away execution. Okay, so once we have deliveries created, okay, then the process is same: posting, good receipt, and put away. In all these different inbounds, there can be inbound from another plant, against STO. So all these inbounds will basically, the difference would be the inbound delivery creation, the document type would be different, but basically all of them will go through the good, receipt, and put away step. So we'll see how those can be executed. Okay. For now, we will take reference of delivery from supplier, because other scenarios we will slowly configure and test them. Okay. So with reference of good receipt from suppliers, we will understand good receipt and put away in more detail. Okay.
Yogan, sorry to interrupt. Actually, 11:30, I have one gate related to your office work, actually, that Japan virus implementation. post implementation. Could you please stop today 11:30?
Mm, it's okay for me. It's okay for you, Kabir and
Kabir,
Yeah,
yeah, and
sure.
Sid. Yeah.
thank you all.
No,
All right. Then let's continue. And yeah, I was talking about we'll continue using the good receipt against PO or good receipt from supplier as our process to understand good receipt and put away. So let's talk about that process in more detail. So we have discussed, actually we have executed this process while we were testing the integration and we were testing the resources. So for a purchase order, when we create a purchase order, we send a copy to the vendor, and then the vendor sends us an ASN. We discuss, if the vendor is not capable of sending us the ASN, we create inbound delivery directly, directly in ERP, the ASN. So we discussed, packing can be done here. Packing can be done here using PackSpec. Packing can be done, by the vendor EDI. Their message can have all the pack information. Okay. So this inbound deliveries, then we post a good receipt and create a warehouse task. So a document which is created in this process is called inbound delivery document. Okay. This is how it is in S4HANA. If you go into a decentralized system, not non-S4 HANA system, you have another document here called as inbound delivery notification. Okay. So in S4 HANA, SAP has removed that document because, anyways, when the queue comes from ERP to EWM, so first the queue would create a notification. It was kind of a replica of your ASN. And then from notification to inbound delivery, it used to check all EWM config, master data, and then create a EWM delivery. So now what system does in S/4HANA directly, ERP inbound delivery or ASN directly gets converted through queue, it gets converted into EWM inbound delivery. Okay. But previously it used to first get replicated to the decentralized system, and then it used to get converted into inbound delivery. So don't worry too much if you see this is IDN, inbound delivery notification document in your decentralized system. It's just a replica of your ASN into a different system. Okay, that's how it used to work in decentralized world. But basically, some checks are done as part of queue. Some checks were done, as part of ASN, inbound delivery notification to inbound delivery creation. Like, when an inbound delivery is created from ERP, before it creates inbound delivery in EWM, it does a lot of checks, right? Whether the material exists or not, whether there is a bin or not. Otherwise, the queue would fail. So now all the checks are done here in the queue itself. Previously, some checks were done as part of the inbound delivery notification activation. Okay. This is just for information. You may not see it. Nowadays, all the companies are using latest version which don't use notification and inbound delivery notifications. Okay, so
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 Rohan, I have one question regarding this. In case of the vendor with the ASN, we share product master, like the material master, through message through EDI. And what happened about in case of the packaging material? Because in case of ASN, we were packing at import delivery label. So that is
mhm.
also through Go message, like POP 1, POP 3 we do.
No, yeah, that is also possible. You can do a POP
Yeah,
1, 2, 3 or POF 1, 2, 3. You can use PackSpec here, or the
yeah.
vendor EDI message, DSADV message type. When that comes, it also have, the segments can also have the packing information. It will have a
Yeah,
handle
yeah,
segment.
but how we tell that packaging the vendor to have that packaging specification, because it is we were
No, no,
telling him, right?
it's not specification. It's the packing
Uh,
information. See, so normally, if the vendor, we tell the vendor, if you are always going to pack, 10 pieces per pallet. And then
Yeah.
we have maintained POP1, POF1 here.
Yeah.
But let's say a vendor has given us a delivery where they have used a non-standard packing where they have packed 15 per pallet. So we
Yeah.
tell vendor, whenever you're changing the packing requirement in EDI itself, you create a handling unit or you give us that information. So in that case, it will not refer the pack spec. It will use the IDOC packing and it will create inbound delivery in that packing information.
Okay. So no. Okay. So there are two packaging materials. Okay. Like I got a Euro pallet, I got a plastic pallet, right? And I can pack the material in any of them, right? But for a vendor, I said you always give me the Euro pallet, not any other pallet, right? So now this is double way that I can tell him verbally. Okay, you can have this Euro pallet and the pallet code is 8000754. Okay, so now when he is sending me the so this one step is the verbally I told him, and second way is I do it electronically, right? That this is for that we do it POP1, POP2, POP3, right? And we send a message. Or is there any other way in
That's easy
EWM?
to. You can use pack spec in EWM or you can use pack
Yeah,
spec
this
in. Yeah. So there are three ways basically. One, the vendor does and send the packing information through EDI. The other using the packing can be done using POP1. The other pack spec in EWM. So all three of them can be used.
Okay.
So, but you will have a choice, whether to do the packing in POP1 or pack spec. If you are using EWM, pack spec has more functionality and that is preferred over POP1 and POF.
Yeah, correct. But in case of the ASN where we are doing the packing in inbound, then it will be POP1, right? Which we have to use.
Yeah, yes, that will not be pack spec, so you have to use.
Yeah.
What
SAP
is
is
this
going to
POP?
make some. So
Sorry,
in
what is the abbreviation? POP for?
it's a transaction POP1 and POF1.
Ah,
So we can use. We have similar pack spec in ECC also. We had where we could do
okay.
packing and create handling units using those two transactions.
It's nothing but a packing instruction.
Packing
But the
instruction.
thing is, I get confused. Is my material is coming from a vendor? Where's the packing come? He sends in the pallet. He got boxes on it. It comes to me. So when you say we do a packing instruction in EWM, what is that packing include?
Packing
Because I have
instruction.
to, yeah, sorry.
See, you need to know how they have packed. See, when just imagine a person in a warehouse, he goes to a door, he see all the material that the vendor has sent. Now,
Mhm.
how will he know? They have 10. There are 10 pallets kept over here. How will he know? That um, each pallet has to be identified. Okay, otherwise, if the vendor has not given the information, he has to create each handling unit manually and keep on
Mhm.
packing that. So these are 10 pallets. Just imagine, throughout the day, there are 50 to 100 deliveries. Each time the pallet comes, he has to first key in the system. Okay, this is pallet. It contains 10 pieces of this material. This is a
Mhm.
type of pallet. It creates a handling unit. Then he posts the GR. So his receiving process will be too much, too much manual intervention will be required. Then he goes to the next pallet. So if we get this packing information upfront, he'll just go to the inventory. He'll say, okay, pallet one. Oh yes, pallet one, this quantity. Okay, I'll post GR. I'll go to the next one. So basically what packing helps is, you're a good receiving clerk. It reduces his job in, doing the packing. We will store this individual pallets, right, as handling units in the warehouse. So they have to be, the material has to be first packed. So the packing can be done by vendor. They can do the packing, they can label it and send it. So the system will know that through inbound delivery, they have sent us the packing information. Inbound delivery is created. They have given us the handling unit number also. We just scan the handling unit number
Mhm.
barcode. We know which
Mhm.
handling unit, which delivery it is. It's an ideal situation. But sometimes, not all vendors are capable. So some vendors will say, okay, we are not capable. but we'll follow you, whatever you tell us, we'll pack and give you. So always they give it in that packing,
Right.
requirement.
Right.
So then
Okay.
we automate the packing in that case. So you can automate the packing in ASN VL31N or PRDI, inbound delivery in EWM using PackSpec.
Okay.
Okay.
Right. Thank you.
You can here one more challenge is actually see when a vendor supply the material, they pack the material their location, right? So they are sending packing instruction via PO POP 123 or EDI. See, when they send the packing instruction through EDI, how then EWM level how they manage master data? See, when they send the EDI through EDI, they are sending packing instruction, right? They have to create master data based on the EDI mail only, right?
Hey, you have to tell them use this master data. They will. There has to be some mapping, right? Or you
Okay.
create a Z table, or they create a Z table to say that this pallet means my packaging material. Pallet means PK-105. This is your packaging material. You have to give
Okay.
them,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
and you have to tell them to use that.
Oh, okay. So all communication between the right. We need to create a otherwise we need to create a master data, metal master, and packing pack spec. Everything we need to create right in EWM level.
Yeah, that's correct. It has to be created and communicated to
Yeah.
them.
Suddenly ASN comes, it is difficult to perform all business transactions.
Mhm. Yeah, so if you have planned the process, you planned your process well, you have discussed with your vendor what is the requirement, then everything will flow through.
Okay. So in the inbound delivery where we have the ASN, so in ECC Rohan, we used to activate the handling unit number at the storage location level. So in this case, we don't need to do that, right?
We don't need.
We don't need to activate. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, so let's skim through next few slides. These are just delivery execution and just what we have already done. So we create a delivery confirmation control key is mandatory for creating inbound delivery. Inbound delivery is created, it get distributed to EWM. We have tested this as part of our integration. Important point to note here, the warehouse comes up and these statuses are blank. Okay, because these statuses are the goods received put away status are now tracked at warehouse level in EWM. It creates a delivery in EWM. We have seen during integration we did a good receipt from here, and it went on and updated ERP. It created a material document. Important point to remember for EWM managed store location, always material documents will be posted from EWM. So your good receipt, your goods issues, all material documents, transfer posting, everything will come from EWM to ERP. Okay, so this is the first good receipt that we did using desktop. It went on and updated the status to C. Very important. Total goods movement status is when your metal document gets posted for delivery and the delivery is completed. Okay, and your metal document gets created. You all are aware, MMB remains the same, MB51 remains the same. The inventory management basically there's no impact. Just the metal document postings are now being sent from EWM. Okay, so we created a warehouse task manually by going into following function warehouse task, and we did create some tasks. We confirm the task through RF in our last session. You can also confirm the task through monitor. So basically monitor is a single point where you can see all the information about a delivery. We have discussed warehouse monitor. So inbound delivery, you can click on warehouse order, it shows all the orders and all the tasks. So if you are like kind of catching back, the metal came yesterday night, somebody received and put away, the RF guns were down. So you can just come here. It shows you the task, the handling unit information as well. So you can just come here and any desktop catch up can be done on in the warehouse monitor. You can say confirm in background, and then your task gets confirmed. Okay, so important point to remember about tasks, which we are going to, as in when we confirm a task, we'll make a note of. The task have statuses. C stands for confirm status of a task. If the task status field is blank, that means it's an open task ready to be executed. Instead of confirming, if you have canceled the task, there's an option to cancel as well. Then the status becomes A. If a task is cancelled, you have to recreate a task. The task cannot be reused now. In some concept, we are going to introduce waiting task as well. Okay, so waiting task is, it is waiting for either packing to be done, inspection to be done, or some or the other prior step to be completed before it becomes open. So system automatically, once the prior step is completed, will open the next task, which is waiting for the prior step. So you'll also see tasks with status B, especially in LOSC, we would see them. Okay. Then finally, the stock in the bin gets updated. And then now what we are going to do is we are going to spend some more time on the delivery transaction, understand the different tabs and data, and we'll see, how to basically reject a delivery, do a reversal of receipt, or how to initiate a vendor return, how to change the quantity, how to basically, do some activities for a delivery, which which will not be in a happy scenario. So what all kind of exception scenarios can come for a delivery processing, we'll go through them. So for changing the quantity, we use process codes. For deleting, we do reject delivery. If we have to do a 102, we do this in the drop down. We have a reverse code receipt option, and we'll also see how to return to vendor. Okay.
Yeah, so on the delivery, so what I noticed when the inward delivery is distributed, as we are discussing only the inward delivery, in ECC level, I'm not able to make any change to the delivery or not able to amend the delivery. So it has to be done in EWM, which I got it. But in case if I have to change the quantity, what will happen?
Still
I
you
have
have
to
to do it in EWM only, and then it will
and
update.
okay, and if in case if I deleted the inbound delivery, then I can able to create a new inbound delivery within EWM, or it has to be done through ECCVL 31N.
See, one thing you should remember that EWM deliveries will never get deleted. Okay, the only
Okay,
thing you can do is change the quantity to 0.
okay.
Okay, so which is equivalent to deleting. Okay, so we don't delete any delivery. We basically
Please update the quantity.
update the
Okay,
quantity to 0.
and
So
it
yeah,
what
and
the
you can
delete.
then you can recreate. The system will recreate. They allow you
So
to recreate the delivery.
and in ECC it will update the quantity as well to 0, right?
Yes, yes, it will update.
And the status will also change, or to something like in the at the ECC side.
Yes, yes, it would change to C. It will get
See.
completed with 0. It's as good as deletion.
Mm, yeah. Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to create a new purchase order and a new delivery.
You can one simple question. It's a basic question that
Mhm.
ERP storage location and EWM storage location would be same or different. Maybe same or different.
There is no storage location in EWM. EWM doesn't store any storage location details. Storage location is always in ERP only.
Okay. But you somewhere used EWM storage location. Okay.
No, we have mapped ERP storage location to EWM. So we do a
So
mapping.
yeah. So on this material, we extended this to only to the storage location 2000, if I remember well.
Mm, Yeah, let's
No,
go
we
and
did.
extend it to all the store locations. Should not be a problem. We have integrated 1000 and 2000.
Yeah.
So there is a mapping, right, in
Okay,
EWM.
okay.
ERP storage location is EWM storage, right?
No, there's no store location. EW availability group.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it.
So now let's, observe some more details about the EWM delivery. Okay, I'll just take some partial quantity so that I can reuse the purchase order. Okay, warehouse conveyance status is blank, goods movement status is 8 till we do the good receipt. So now I will display this just to observe the quantity changes. Yeah. Let's keep it blank and run it.
So that inbound delivery is created in the purchase order as well? In the
Yeah, it
confirm
will be there in the purchase order as well.
for 10
You'll
quantity.
see that in the confirmation tab as well.
Yeah. No. Okay. And where's the packing? We talked a lot about packing. Where's the instruction of packing? If I have to see from PO, how would that,
See,
where would that see?
we have used EWM packing. Okay, so we have used pack spec in EWM. We have not. So here you can see it is packed and a handling is created.
Mhm. So basically, no instruction has come from your supplier
No
in this
instruction has
scenario.
come from supplier. Yeah,
This is non-ASN scenario.
this is the
Non-ASL
EWM pack
scenario
spec.
manual.
Yeah, manual pack, automatic packing in EWM using pack spec.
Mhm. And what if my supplier have already had a verbal agreement, the scenario which Sid was talking earlier, where I know it will come in this spec in
Yeah,
terms of packing.
so
Can I?
I have automated packing in EWM. That vendor is always going to
Okay.
be send me into a carton, large carton. So this is what I would do
And
while
this is
doing
coming
that.
from pack spec.
Yeah.
Okay. So this, if I understand, pack spec is in combination of the vendor because that will be specific to that particular vendor, right? Or will it
Yes,
be
that's correct. No, you're right. Because every vendor can have
okay?
a different packing requirement.
Correct, correct. Okay, so it's my vendor and that material what he's sending that
Yeah.
will is UD combination. Okay,
Yes.
so that pack spec will help me to automate that. Okay, getting it.
Yeah. In the pack
Thank you.
spec in the condition record, you have a vendor
Mhm.
option which you can use here. Okay. So now we will also look into this delivery. So why it has gone to red, because it couldn't find a bin. We'll do the configuration so that going forward we don't have to give the bins manually. Okay. So okay. So now before we go ahead, let me do that configuration. So here you can see there is a process type Y114. Okay. So now let's say this delivery is wrongly created. I have to cancel this. Okay. I will do the config. I'll cancel and I will create a new delivery. Okay. So the delivery, the movement bin, the goods movement bin or the GR zone bin comes from the process type. Okay. In a basic inbound, in a complex inbound, it will be staging area. We have created several staging area bins. Those will be considered. But in a basic inbound, it comes from the basic inbound comes from the process type. So what I will do is, I don't want to use SAP standard process type. I will be doing a lot of configuration for my process type. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just simply copy Y114 and create my own process type. Now, what is process
Just
type?
one thing, Arun. This in the last previous session, we have created the product master, but we have not assigned any indicator to determine the process type. How does this came out?
Let's talk. We'll come to process type. Just creating them. We'll see. That's all. That's what we are going to cover now. I'm talking about that only. So, so we have this process type. This process type is derived in standard SAP. Now I want to create my own process type and determine it. Okay. So what is process type? It's, you can consider it similar to a movement type or WM movement type. So any, basically it controls, yeah, how the tasks are grouped together. And, every task that we have seen, we have seen a put away task. It has the process type it controls, whether it's a internal task or it's a put away task or it's a replenishment task. You can configure, whether it's automatically getting confirmed. So there are many controls that process type, same like storage type. Process type is a very, important element, and we will create a lot of process types, okay, for a warehouse. So I'm going to create a process type where say 1010. Okay, I'm going to save it. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to remove the storage process because we are using a basic process. And I'm going to say my bin is 9010 ZR zone. So this bin when I give, so when it is a inbound process type, we maintain the source because when we do a GR, the source for the task is always going to be GR zone. In case of outbound, we'll maintain the destination storage type because that is going to be fixed. So here we are giving like the interim bin like we had in WM. We are giving an interim bin so that whenever this process type is used, when we do the GR, it always fixed for this process type. It is always going to be using this bin. Okay. So we create a process type, copying
So
standard.
is this process type linked to I know you mentioned in the first class, the process orientated layout, something control, and then is it linked to that? And
Yeah, we will configure steps in this, but we
so
need to configure those steps first and then we can assign it to you.
we can, okay, we either, okay. What about this? Sorry, layout oriented something.
Layout oriented storage control, process oriented
So
storage control.
okay, so what we are considering now, or we are just considering the
We are not
basic block?
considering with basic. We are not
Okay,
going
we
to
are doing a
talk about
basic block.
the basic.
Okay,
Not,
okay.
no. We are not discussing the steps
Hmm.
as of
Okay.
now. Okay. So now here we got, our process type created. Then the process type in a delivery is determined through several parameters. Okay, what are those parameters? You should remember them. The document type, the item type, the delivery priority, and the process type determination indicator in the product master. Okay. So here for our warehouse, you can see WH34. This is the document type. Yeah. So the document type is here. Like we have, document type for a PO for the for delivery, we have delivery type. Same way we have document type for EWM deliveries. You can see in the standard config, I'm not going to introduce anything new here. I'm just going to replace, like it's only at a delivery type level. I'm going to say, for my warehouse, just take 1010. As we go ahead, we will create some more process types. Some may be made determined based on item, based on priority in delivery priority, which is maintained in the ERP delivery, based on process type indication indicator. Some product may need 1010, some may need 1011, some may need 1012. So for those products, we'll have separate process type indicators. This process is for all the material. So till we introduce several inbound processes through POSC, we'll continue using the basic one. That means all products which are not assigned to any indicator, they will follow this 1010
What is this? The
process.
item? What goes in the item column?
The item type, like we have, item category in delivery. Same way here, we have an item type field. So based on item, If it's a batch managed item, you want a different process type. If it's a packaging item, you want a different process type. So we have different item types which will derive for a delivery.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Have-
Ron,
Mhm.
what is the advantage of having a different on this screen? What is the advantage of having a different process type? Why we are doing it? Because when you are doing the inbound, it is the inbound which has to go to the GR zone, right? Initially. So why we have so
Benefit
many?
is the benefit I'm trying to have here is I'm going to get a GR zone bin coming up automatically.
Okay, so if I have a different initial bin, so that's why we have to do this setup.
Yeah.
Is that correct to say?
As of now, we want all stock to go into GR zone. That's why
Yeah.
we are doing this setup. Okay, so we are not using the staging area bins for now. So
Mm.
so this configuration just to let you know that if your warehouse doesn't use staging areas and there is always stock going into GR zone, maintain it at your process type level.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So now I'll recreate the delivery and you will see the process type will come up automatically, a process type, and it will also bring in GR zone. This is going to help us in next few sessions. You don't have to always do a manual GR zone maintenance. Okay.
So Yogan, one more doubt here. You told the
Mhm.
document type, right? And EWM document type and ERP document type may be different. That case, how that both are assigned? How the
We'll see
document?
that in that configuration. We haven't s-
Okay. Got it. Got
introduced the configuration integration for delivery types. We have a separate unit for that.
it.
Okay.
Fine.
So now there was a question: how do we change the quantity, or how do we cancel the delivery? We just cancel inbound delivery by pressing reject. Okay. So now what has happened? Reject has made the quantity 0. Here it would have also made the quantity 0 here. We'll see that. Yeah. See, it is 0 here. It is completed with 0 quantity. It's as good as deleted. Okay. Now when I create a new delivery, you will see the overall purchase order quantity of 9,000 is open now. Okay. So I will create a new delivery for the 10 again. So here you can see delivery is created for 10. Okay. If at all, I want to change the quantity, typically, you can just come here and change the quantity. Oh yeah, but yeah, before we go there, you can see it is green now and process type has come and GR zone bin has also come. Okay. This will save a lot of our time in for the deliveries that we are going to create. This came from the config that we did.
So we must have that configuration set up. Without that, bin cannot be. So what
Yeah.
if I have to put this in a general bin where I can manually scan my bin and or I can just put in. So I don't want any selection. I would have. Why would it not allow me to scan anywhere I want to put in? You can have that
So
scenario, right?
see in GR, see
Uh-huh.
in good receipt, you do a good receipt, it'll have when you do a receive, it has to add
Uh-huh.
stock in some bin, right? So either
Correct.
you create a bin for your doors or in the staging area and it gets automatically determined. The stock you will not give the bin manually. If you give the bin manually, then there's no RF transaction which allows you to standard SAP which allows you to scan a bin where you want to put it. So let's say you're in a truck, you scan the HU and now you're saying you want to see which staging area is vacant and you want to scan that staging area. You can do that, but then you have to do unloading first. During unloading only you can tell that I'm taking from the truck, putting into staging area. Here you're directly posting good receipt. So when you're doing good receipt, system should know where to add stock. So that this is the bin which will be used.
So
If
other
you want-
example, if I can say like that, I got a product, I got a general product which need to go to the GR zone, and then I got a hazardous product which I want to go to the specific zone which should not be the common to the GR zone. So for that also I can configure the process type, and I can have a different bin within that process type. So that is like a special handling area.
That's correct. So that is also a possible scenario. See,
Yeah.
see why based on product your processes can change. See, some products they go for some special packing, some labeling requirements. Some products may not go for it. Like your low value item, you'll directly do the good receipt and put away them into the bin. But your special items like your engines or your motors and all those kind of special items, you will do you first take them to quality. There will be some special pallets you're going to pack them into before you store them into the warehouse. All such scenarios will come, which may be dependent on material. Then your process would be slightly different. So as of now, all are inbound.
Here actually this goods movement bin is there, right? This all
Mhm.
bin is determined based on WBT configuration, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what we did, it was not coming up earlier. Now it is coming up.
Got it.
Okay, so now
So just one more thing, the door and the bin. Sorry, I got this is the where is staging. You mentioned just now the staging door, and so there is a bit of extra bit which can come over here, right? If we
Yeah.
configure the doors. Okay.
Yes, staging
Yes.
areas and doors we will
Yeah.
come up.
Okay. Okay.
So if you want, you can change the quantity like this. You can use process codes to change the quantity. Okay, like with process quantity adjustments, you can say I001 and you can change the quantity if you want to reduce, say, -2, -4, and so on. So quantity changing is possible. And when you do the good receipt, ERP updates gets updated with the changed quantity. Okay, this is also one of the exception scenario you can come across. If at all you have done the good receipt, okay, and you want to do the receipt, good receipt reversal, 102 movement type, what you can do is you can simply come here, drop down and say reverse good receipt.
And this can be done even the warehouse activity has been executed, like task and order has been created.
Okay, so you can do this activity till your put away is not done. If your put away is done,
Okay.
then you can't do it. Okay. Then you have to follow vendor return process. So if you come here for the delivery, I did a reversal. So the goods movement status was A, it should get changed. It was C, it should get changed to A. Some queue failure. It's failing. This is a task creation. It's not a good receipt reversal.
Just a reminder, it's 11:30, I think. Shiv.
Yeah, we'll stop here now.
Yeah, this started.
No, we have request.
Okay, yeah, so you can see the GR has been reversed here. 102 has been posted.
Yeah, but that delivery get closer, which is right, Rohan, right? Delivery,
No,
we have to create a
delivery
new.
status should be A, isn't it? I think there is some
No,
inconsistency.
but
There was a
we-
B, there is a A. Yeah, C is complete, but it is complete,
C,
right?
yeah,
Oh,
which
okay.
is
No,
correct. I think
Overall. No, it's not correct.
See,
No,
because
no, but
you post 102, it should turn to A.
Cancelled, something like that. Yeah.
No, A means not posted. See, you did a good receipt for 9,000, then you reversed it. A is
okay,
not
now,
started.
yeah. So if we have to send this delivery again to, because right now the status of this delivery
No, no,
is
you
written
don't.
in EWM.
No, it's not returned. You have just canceled the good receipt.
Okay, cancel it. It's still because it's still open. Okay.
Yeah.
What are those statuses? Where's the? Can you bring that on PPT? You mentioned just to
That is,
reconfirm.
those are task status, that those status were for task. These are delivery status.
Not started. Yeah, not started.
Okay.
Come, not started. Yeah.
Okay. Is
Not yet processed,
is not
delivery.
yet okay. So it should be not yet processed. Correct.
Yeah. I think it looks like there is some, uh,
So inconsistency. Yeah.
inconsistency. Yeah, some note
Mm.
maybe need to be applied.
Yeah, and one more thing, Rohan. In this, I have seen the number range for the inbound delivery, which get created in ECC. So right now, I can see same number range for inbound delivery in ECC as well as in EWM. So there is some config for that as well, right?
Yeah. We will. That's a part.
See
That's
that.
transport of
Okay,
delivery type. We will see
yeah.
that the document type config.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
So we'll stop here. Shiva, you can join your call. I'm just taking questions now. I'm not going to take any new.
No, you can actually now the meeting lobby started, but no one.
Let's turn
No
up.
discussion has been. Let's wait a few more time. Yeah.
Okay. So the last thing, last scenario I was about to explain the good receipts can be reversed till put away is completed. So, we do good receipt, then a put away task is created, then it's confirmed. So after that, we can't do a reversal. We have to follow vendor return process. We have to create outbound delivery and pick the item. But, if a GR is done, put away task is not created, you can reverse the GR like we have done here. Or if the GR is done, put away task is created, not confirmed, you can cancel the task and you can do a GR reversal. So only concern is when you confirm the put away task, then you cannot do GR reversal. Okay, that's how inbound delivery has been configured by SAP. So if we have to do a vendor return, you have an option here, return to vendor.
So this is happening at what stage? Sorry, this vendor return you're doing?
See, for one delivery, the put away is completed. Now, let's say I
Okay.
want to send the materials back to the vendor, or I want to
Okay, you're
cancel the
doing that.
receipt.
For rejection case.
Yeah.
But would you not come from the ECC?
Yeah,
No,
it can come
it will
from ECC
directly from.
also. You can initiate from EWM also. Typically, we initiate from EWM itself, rather than doing a MyGo 122. We can also do it
Okay.
from here also.
Does it create a return purchase order or just create a
Yes.
return
How
delivery?
my
It will
requirement?
create a return delivery 122 movement type.
122 against material document number. And here I have to return the entire quantity or part quantity I can return.
You can return whatever you want.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So in that case scenario, my purchase order quantity will stay open.
No purchase order.
After you process your outbound delivery, so delivery gets
So,
created here. Okay, here it's failing to create a delivery because of some conflict. But yeah, it's not able to find a customer. So once you create an outbound delivery, okay, that delivery, if you process it, then it will post 122. So
no.
in the purchase order, in the purchase order, you will see two movements, right? 101 and 122. After you see 122 in a purchase order, yes, your quantity will remain open.
Okay.
You will see 122 here. I'll create outbound delivery. We'll post the delivery. You will see a 122 here. And then your quantity, yes, you're correct, will remain open. And then you can receive it through another inbound delivery.
Okay. Shift, can you be on mute, please? Sorry. It's okay. So we
Here's
doing.
my delivery number. Just give me a minute. Yeah. So in that case, you're correct. The purchase order history will also show us 101 and it will show us 122. We haven't done a good receipt yet. for
And would
this
it
one.
have a outbound delivery credit? You got an inbound delivery credit. It will, okay, you have test credit outbound delivery.
Yeah, I will just created outbound delivery. There is some outbound delivery configuration missing. So that is why it's failing. We'll see that in outbound, but yeah, ideally the process is you enter what reason for creating an outbound delivery for 122
Mm-hmm.
and then you say post. It will create outbound delivery. You'll get
And
outbound delivery over here.
would it require certain kind of packing? So would it have those outbound tasks, all those tasks?
Yeah, see,
Because I have,
it is giving you the handling unit, that you have to pick
okay, oh,
that you received against that delivery.
okay.
So outbound delivery gets created. It is 122 moment. Once you pick and goods issue the delivery, your purchase order will have 122. Purchase order remains open now, and then you can receive the delivery, or you can whenever it comes with the right quantity and quality. Okay, so we'll stop here today. Tomorrow we will execute same inbound through Fiori. Okay, so Fiori SAP has introduced a new transaction for creating inbound delivery and for creation of tasks, confirmation of tasks. It's basically the same thing, but a different user interface. We'll understand that also, and then we will start some more configuration on inbound and RF. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So far, what we have done, we have just did the good receipt of the inbound delivery, right?
yeah, we will do put away. We did on Friday on RF.
Previous, yeah, Friday.
Yeah, we will do some more
Yeah.
put away tomorrow through RF, through the Furies and through the monitors. We'll cover all those variations.
Sure, sure. And just a reminder, this weekend the clock is going backwards in UK. So from
Yeah.
class from Tuesday next week, I don't think
It'll be 11:30.
it will be 1 hour delayed. Plus 4th and 5th, if we can take a holiday, Diwali.
Yeah, sure. We will take
If
holiday.
that is
for
okay,
that.
Thursday, Friday, so that everybody.
I'll put it on the discussion board. Okay.
No problem. Thank you.
Okay. Then I think we end the session for today. We'll come back again tomorrow and discuss further.
Thank you for attending the session. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to visit our Vimeo page and follow for more upcoming videos.